Jamie, let me first start by welcoming you on behalf of RaithTV and all the supporters to Starks Park.
Thank you.
Cheers. Let's start by tell us about how the move to the Rovers came about. I understand you've known John McGlynn for a few years now.
Yeah, I've known John a long time, 16, 17 years now. John was my first professional coach when I went into Hearts at 16. So yeah, I worked with him 6-7 years there before he obviously left to come to Raith. I think he's in his first spell, but then he obviously came back to Hearts for a season as well. So yeah, I've worked with John a long time, and that was a big pull for me.
And you'll be looking forward to working with him again, and of course Paul Smith, the assistant manager. How highly do you regard the input that you're going to get from John and Paul?
Yeah, as I say, working with John in the past, I think he's a fantastic coach. Somebody I've always enjoyed working with. Training, enjoying training, enjoying the way he plays football. I know John likes to try and build from the back and get the team playing. So it's something that as I say, that was a big draw for me. As first and foremost, you just want to enjoy your football.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and hopefully that'll be the case here. We were talking just before we started recording there. You've been a professional now for 18 years. You've experienced everything that's been thrown at you, from playing at Anfield, 4 Cup finals. But as an experienced player, or a player coming into their peak for a goalie, what part of your game do you think has developed and improved best over the years?
I don't know, you're making me feel old now, right?
Sorry.
I think, as you say, just the experience of, playing games makes you more, try to help people, being probably more a communicator than I probably was when I was younger. As I say, try to help people. I wouldn't say I'm the most vocal in a changing room all the time, I'm generally quite a quiet person overall, but when I get in the pitch, I'm there to try and help everybody, and I'd say I'm quite a calming influence. I don't really get too wound up too much, maybe the odd occasion, but I'd like to think of myself as quite a calm person, and hopefully that can transmit to the players in the park as well.
Yeah. And in terms of player development, do you ever think you stop learning as a professional player?
No, not at all. I think you learn something all the time. Different groups of players, different types of managers, you're always learning. There's always something you can take from someone. And as I say, so I'm looking forward to continue to learn here at Raith Rovers.
Looking at your career, you've played at this level, twice before with Falkirk and Alloa. You've played against a number of current players and some notable former players. Just as a formerly an opposition player and now a Rovers player, what players for you stick out in the current squad and in recent years that you've come up against? The
ones that I last played against, like Grant Anderson, Ian Davison, they're two that obviously in the current squad that I've played against a few times, and obviously John Baird, who's obviously away now, but I played a year at Falkirk with Beardy, and he's a great player, great goal scorer. It's obviously disappointing probably to lose him, but he's obviously starting new life in Australia, so all the best to him.
Good stuff, right? And in terms of the other personnel that are here just now, we've got 3 other keepers signed. How do you assess the squad as a whole so far that you're joining?
Yeah, it's obviously, it's just, I say the beginning of the season, obviously we're due to the current situation, so it's maybe a bit light at the moment, but I think the manager will be working hard to get players in over the next kind of month or so, so we're ready for coming back to training. Obviously during the current situation, it's obviously very difficult for everybody right now, but I'm sure I have faith in the gaffer will fill the squad, and we'll have a competitive team in the park come the beginning of the season.
Yeah. You've been here for about an hour already. You've signed on the dotted line on a two-year deal. You've also had a look around the place. Still a talking point at clubs like Raith Rovers is the Astro surface. How do you feel about playing on this kind of surface?
That's not an issue for me. For the last 6 years I've played in AstroTurf for the clubs I've been at, and I think people don't like change, and when I know myself, when I first started playing it probably wasn't my favourite thing, but you get used to it very quickly. It's actually probably better than most grass pitches, to be honest, especially through the Scottish leagues. It's a lot of upkeep for clubs to maintain a high level of pitch financially. So it's something that I think, especially with the style of football the manager wants to play, it allows for that, the passing from the back and things, because it's a true surface pretty much, most of the time. So it's something that's not an issue for me, and I'm looking forward to playing it. It looks a fantastic Astro as well, to some of the ones I've played on, and they're getting better all the time, and this is a great surface.
It's looking like it's going to be an unusual season in many ways, with only 27 games scheduled and no supporters at least at the start of the season. For yourself, have you been watching those closed door games on TV, and what's your thoughts about playing with no atmosphere in the stands?
Yeah, it's obviously going to be a very surreal environment for everybody. I've seen some of the games, and you maybe don't get the same intensity as what you would do when you've got a crowd in, spurring you on or going against you if you're away from home type thing. But it's something we're all going to have to get used to for at least the first part of the season anyway. But it's up to the players to be as professional as possible, and once you're on the park, you drown out crowds and things anyway. So I'd like to think that once the season starts, boys will be able to get on and do their jobs properly. At the end of the day, it's the fans that are missing out more than anything. Football at the end of the day is nothing without the fans. So it's disappointing. It's going to be a while before you really get to sample that, but hopefully they'll be back in sooner than expected.
And finally, this is your 18th season as a professional, and it's been a very unusual pre-season for you, and it will be. Give us a little insight into what you've been doing to stay in shape during the lockdown.
There's been a lot of running and cycling with family and things. Obviously you're kind of limited in what you can do right now, because obviously there's no gyms open, etc. I'm very fortunate. I've got some goalkeeping friends where in the last few weeks we've been out doing a little bit together, obviously with social distancing. But so I've been doing bits and bobs, mainly running overall, which is not my favourite thing, but needs must. But it's been good the last few weeks getting out and seeing a ball again and things like that. So hopefully continue that on for another few weeks, and hopefully we'll be back sooner rather than later. Well,
you'll be looking forward to when training starts in mid-August, but until that point, thanks for that, Jamie, and good luck for the future.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.